sure your aunt does not mind us coming in this way.
No! Aunt Catherine is not as formal as my mother and other aunts.
How many aunts do you have?
3. But Aunt Catherine is the youngest by 8 years and the most modern. In truth, 5 years ago, she traveled to Washington, D.C. to be one of the first ladies to make the first public bicycle ride down Pennsylvania Avenue, right in front of the White House. She waved to the president. Some people in Rockford were shocked. She wore bloomers.
She is so radical. Is she a suffragette?
Of course, we all are in my family. An educated woman must be allowed a voice in the political world. An educated woman can do more than just host teas. Unless, of course, you're hosting them to raise money for good causes. We learned those from Miss Anna Peck-Sill.
Who is she?
Miss Anna Peck-Sill was the first headmistress of Rockford College, or rather Rockford Female Seminary. Look, Martha, I know you would like the college if you just gave it a chance.
That is all very nice. I know you are planning to go to Rockford College in the fall, but I want to go back east for my education.
Where would you go? Which school?
Mount Holyoke, Radcliffe, Bryn Mawr, Wellesley, or Smith. Smith is my first choice.
Good afternoon. I'm Catherine.
Hello there.
I would like you to meet Miss Martha Gill. Martha, may I present my aunt, my wonderful Aunt Catherine, Mrs. Jonathan McKnight.
How do you do, Mrs. McKnight?
Welcome to my home, Miss Gale.
Yes, thank you for allowing Bella to invite me.
May I call you Martha?
Yes, please.
It is very nice to meet you. Bella has spoken so fondly of you.
Bella has been very kind to me as the new girl in town.
Bella is a very kind and giving young woman. So, how are you adjusting to Rockford?
It's very nice. Different from Milwaukee.
I have had the pleasure of meeting your mother and father.
When did you meet Mr. and Mrs. Gale?
Oh, they were touring the campus of Rockford College. It was late last spring. I was in the library doing research for an article I'm writing when Principal Anderson walked in with your parents. They were most impressed with the university, and I was so pleased to meet them.
Yes.
You will be attending in the fall?
Just think, Martha, on September, we'll be part of the college. Oh, we could be study partners. We could be part of the drama club, the art club, the
Bella! Oh, I think it's time for some refreshments. Would you please go into the kitchen and bring out the tray with the lemonade?
Of course.
And don't forget the cookies.
My favorite?
Of course.
Thank you. I told you she's the best of all aunts.
Please, sit down, Martha.
Your garden is so beautiful. The water is so calm today.
It is the perfect early summer day. So, you will be off to Smith in September? I overheard you mention Smith College.
No, I'm attending Rockford College.
Going to Smith is very important to you. May I ask why?
I have 4 brothers. I'm in the middle. Will is in his last year at Harvard, and Jamie is in his 3rd year at Princeton. My 2 younger brothers, Freddie and Oscar, are marked for Yale. They are attending the best schools.
And of course, you wanted to go to one of their sister schools for young women, such as Smith College.
Yes. My father thinks that Rockford College is just fine for a girl who is to marry and raise a family. Oh, it's not that I don't want those things, but
You just want to do something else as well. Something just as significant.
yes. My father doesn't understand what I'm looking for. Oh, please understand, I love him very much and admire his accomplishments. I just wish.
You sound just like one of my classmates. teacher. Miss Sill believed in challenging studies for young women. Our curriculum consisted of Latin, Greek, French, natural science, ancient history, literature, calculus, rhetoric, oratory, debate, and my friend Jane excelled in debate. In fact, she was so accomplished that Miss Sill selected her to go alone as a contestant at an important college regional debate. Jane was the first woman to be allowed to debate at this regional level. Jane won 5th place. William Jennings Bryan won 1st, so 5th is very respectable. But the class that charged Jane's imagination was mental and moral philosophy. The lessons we learned from Miss Sill, who was very formidable, taught us how to put our skills to work to bring about positive social change and equality. Yes, it was Miss Sill's strong moral and ethical philosophy guiding us to see, to understand how we can and must improve the quality of life for the poor. A community, a city is stronger if all of its citizens have the right and the opportunity to fulfill their potential. Everyone has the right to work and to know that whatever the job may be, there is dignity in work.
But Miss Sill is no longer headmistress.
She passed away 4 years ago. So many who had attended the school were in deep mourning at her loss. But she left the school in good hands and with a strong vision for an unknown future. And that vision has stretched beyond the campus in the hands of the young women who have graduated.
I was under the impression that the school only taught women to be wives of ministers or missionaries.
No, that's not true, right, Aunt Catherine?
Well, it is true that Miss Sill believed well-educated young women would make for better wives of ministers and missionaries. Miss Sill believed that she would single out young women who she believed displayed high intelligence and a strong sense of self because, well, these were the qualities she believed necessary for the missionary field. She saw in Jane a fierce determination, and so she told Jane that she should become a missionary. When she told Jane that she should become a missionary, Jane looked her in the eye and said respectfully but firmly, "No." I don't think anyone, let alone a student, had ever said no to Miss Anna Peck Sill.
So your classmate Jane never became a missionary. What did she do when she graduated?
Oh, she entered the medical field.
Oh, that is brave. She is wonderful. What medical school let her in? So she's now a doctor?
Her poor health, coupled with the death of her beloved father, prevented her from continuing her studies.
Oh, I'm very sorry.
It gave her time to go to London. That's where she found Toynbee Hall, right, Aunt Catherine?
Her goal had been to be a physician doctoring the poor, but in Toynbee she found another way to fulfill that goal.
Her goal?
At age 6, on a trip with her father to Freeport, a mill town not too far from here, Jane visited one of the poorer neighborhoods of the town. She was startled to see the tiny houses set so close together. They were cold and shabby and looked sad compared to her own spacious home on its beautiful lush lawns and extensive grounds. She asked her father, why would anyone want to live like this? And he told her they did so out of necessity, not by choice. Then she declared that when she was an adult, she would have a large home like her father's, but it would be in the middle of those tiny little houses like the ones in Freeport. And she would have a large yard so that any children who did not have a yard could come play at her home. Toynbee was the key to unlock or piece together all of her studies, now how did she put it? The daily remembrances of a life of noble purpose. The class of '81 goes forth to pay back again to the world the much good they have received from their alma mater. I'm paraphrasing, but in short, Jane and all the rest of us were taught to know that a life of noble purpose must be pursued and fulfilled. Jane later went on to say, "We stand today united in the belief in beauty, genius, and courage. These can transform the world."
Hello, Patty.
You! Are you around back? Cora, we are in the garden.
Oh dear, it's Mrs. Edwards. She never lost breath.
What does that mean?
Oh, well, I rang the bell. I knew you were home this afternoon, so I just kept knocking, but then I remembered this the day that sweet little person that works for you has off, so no one to answer the door. Oh, well, then I thought I'll try around the back garden gate, and sure enough, here you are. Bella, how pretty you look. You are making quite a lovely young lady. Oh, and who is this young person?
Mrs. Edwards, may I present Miss Martha Gale? Martha, may I present Mrs. George Edwards?
How do you do, Mrs. Edwards?
So, you're the daughter of the Gale family. Oh, you are charming. I've had the pleasure of meeting your mother and father. What an elegant family. I'm sure they find Rockford ever so much better than Milwaukee. I know I would. Oh, and I hear you're going to be attending Rockford College in the fall with Bella. You will so enjoy it. I treasure my years of study there. Of course, I was one of the glorious 17, as Jane called us. Oh, lovely. I could use some lemonade.
How was your trip to Chicago?
Well, George was stuck in meetings and interminable conferences all day. Then there were endless dinners with clients and bank trustees.
Poor Cora.
No, it was perfect. I had all day to shop, see the galleries, and, most importantly, spend time at Hull House. In the 4 years it's been open, so many more new ways of service have been added, and so many more people are coming to Hull House. Of course, from the beginning, Jane has provided kindergarten and daycare facilities for the children of working mothers, and even midwifery services when needed. But our Jane, seeing a need and moving forward to find a way to fulfill that need.
Another lesson learned from the college.
For it is the way to serve the community by improving the lives of others.
An educated woman can move into the future unafraid. I've been listening to these teachings all my life.
My dear niece. Oh, go on, Cora. What other new endeavors has Jane implemented?
Well, she has added a number of classes to teach the immigrants that are flooding into Chicago, as well as citizenship classes. Ever moving with the times, Jane has added an employment bureau, increased the size of the art gallery, and the classes in art, theater, and music are overflowing.
Art, theater, music?
Of course, Jane knew that the act of play could stimulate creativity, and creativity leads to better reasoning. She's particularly fond of the theater, adores Shakespeare. Oh, Kathy, do you remember that night we were reading Romeo and Juliet?
That cold January night, we were popping popcorn.
Oh, well, we weren't allowed to cook in our rooms, but sometimes we did. That night, we were reading Romeo and Juliet, and Jane was reading the role of Romeo. I admit, I was so engrossed in her reading that I stopped shaking the corn over the fire in the grate, and it does what corn does when you stop shaking it. Burns. And the aroma,
Stench of charred corn filled our room,
the firm but pleasant way she had, we were engaged in studying William Shakespeare, a writer of monumental significance.
We were given a firm warning about cooking in the room.
Yes.
Did you ever cook in your rooms again?
Well, I am here today to... Yummy cookies! Thank you. Oh, I'll need your help, Kathy. Hull House Library is in need of so many more books, so I'm organizing an afternoon tea, and admission is 2 books, one for adults and one for children. Oh, I have a list of books. We'll send out a detailed list of all the different types of books we'll need and a formal invitation which you will help me design. So, we will send out invitations to all of our classmates, and even those who are out of town will rally to help Jane. We'll throw this on the college grounds on a Sunday afternoon in July. There will be harp and violin music and croquet on the lawn. I'm on my way to the college, and I need you, Kathy, to come with me. Oh, in fact, I want all of you to come and help organize it.
Us too?
Of course. Pardon. Oh, of course you can come. My carriage is out in the front, so come along. Oh, Kathy, go and grab your hat and meet us out in the front lawn. Bella, what other games or ideas do you and Martha think would entice the young women to come to the tea? Of course, they should know it is their moral duty to help.
I didn't know. We will have to put our heads together.
Well, come along. Oh, we must stop and engage Theodora in our venture. She is so marvelous at engaging the right musicians.
Oh, we could have ragtime music. It would be so modern.
Ragtime? It's so noisy!
Cora, you have got to move with the times.
Kathy!
But what difference if ragtime music means all music?
Thank you for the lemonade and the conversation.
Thank you for agreeing to help with the book venture.
All of you, the glorious 17, have moved forward in, what was it Miss Adams said? A life of noble purpose.
Steadily fulfilled, the class of 81 goes forth to pay back again to the world the much good they have received from their alma mater.
That is the goal for the class of 97 to achieve.
So, you think you can reconcile yourself to going to Rockford College? You won't miss terribly not going to Smith?
No, not now. No, not now.
Come on, Martha, this will be so much fun!
Thank you.
Do hurry, Kathy! We've no time to waste, and we must put an end to this idea of ragtime music.
Harp and violin in the first hour, and then ragtime in the later afternoon.
Kathy!
Cora, ragtime is lively and it brightens the spirit. The music will attract more people and may even attract a certain new bank president who happens to be very fond of ragtime. I know you've been wanting him to engage with the college. True. Perhaps he could be part of this planning committee, helping with book donations and money, and just think what Jane could do with more money.
Yes, very good point.